Here we go, you guys. Welcome back to The Struggle with Candice Thompson. Guess who this is? Candice Thompson. That is right. Shut up, Mal. For new listeners, thank you for joining The Struggle. I know I've got a lot of new fans from Joe Rogan. Thank you for you guys for following me. I really appreciate the support and the love. What The Struggle is a podcast that we basically just have all of my friends come on and we talk about things that we're struggling with in the adult world because we know life can kind of be a struggle. So let's talk about it. Let's laugh about it. You can follow me on Jokes by Candice, at Jokes by Candice on Twitter and Instagram, and CandiceThompsonComedy.com. Now I'm going to introduce my hilarious co-host, Mal Hall.
Thank you, Candice Thompson.
You're wearing my gummy bear hat that I got you.
Well, this is actually my gummy bear hat that you gave to me.
Oh, yeah. Repping Albanese gummy bears, the best gummy bears in the whole wide world. And we're not making this up. Facts. They are legit the best gummy bears I've ever had in my whole entire life.
My website is malhall.com, social media at malhall. And Mal is spelled M-A-L,
yes.
Just to be clear. Also, Mal Hall TV on YouTube. I have to say it.
I know.
And that's it. I'm excited for our guest.
I am very excited for our guest. She's so funny. And I'm so happy she agreed to be here today. Everybody, the hilarious Kira Soltanovich.
Hey. Yay!
Where can everyone find you, Kira?
I still have my Waze up on my phone.
Okay, we don't want to let them know where your stalkers can find you right now. That's not a good idea.
No, we don't want them to know. Where can they find me?
Yes.
At a Gelson's near you.
Dang, she has money.
Oh, it's going well.
Money. And you know what you can find at Gelson's?
What?
Albanese gummy bears.
Albanese.
I'm just saying.
Now, those are from the Albanian people?
No, that's what I thought at first. I was like, why is their name this? But the factory is in Indiana. I went there over Christmas.
Oh, no.
That's how much of a diehard fan I am. I went to the factory.
Albanese are not allowed in Indiana.
Yeah,
so
no.
I don't know.
I was very surprised. We just blew their whole operation open.
I'm going to try them. What makes them so great?
The texture, they're so chewy and like everyone hates this word, but moist. They are very moist.
I don't mind the word moist.
I don't either.
I don't know why people have a problem with it.
They have a problem with it. It makes them think about things, but that are,
cake?
Not so savory.
God forbid you think about cake.
That's what I'm talking about. When I think of moist, I think of desserts and treats and Albanese gummy bears.
Albanese.
The flavors are also kind of amazing.
It's like a flavor explosion.
It bursts in your mouth and it's kind of just.
I'm a Haribo gummy bear fan, but
you would be.
I will.
Those are very hard.
So typical
too hard.
Haribo.
He's such a basic bitch.
Too hard. And the Albanese are like very soft and like.
Right.
There's no complex. Kira, I'm going to bring you some and you're going to see, and your kids are going to love them. And
my kids don't eat candy.
You're lying. You're lying. I was like, is that the kind of mom you are?
I am. I'm a little bit borderline that kind of mom.
Really? No sugar for them?
It's not no sugar, but like if you allow your spouse or your boyfriend or girlfriend to have like a list of people they could cheat on you with.
Yes.
Right? Okay, I'll let you. It's your birthday.
Yeah.
If you run into George Clooney, okay.
That's my pass.
That's what I do with my kids. If we are in the right situation, here is a cheat list that maybe one day you can do.
Explore.
Okay, I'm glad you explained that because I'm stupid. I was like, wait, your kid gets to hook up with George Clooney?
If my kid finds George Clooney attractive, who doesn't?
My kid's only allowed to breastfeed from other moms.
Right.
Unless if it's on that list.
I have pre-approved the breasts.
Of Keira Knightley. Yes. Only other women named
Kira Sedgwick.
All the Kiras.
That's totally fine.
You still didn't plug yourself.
Oh,
Where can we find you?
KiraComedy.com, because I'm not going to make you look up Soltanovich. That would be just crime.
Form of abuse.
Kira Comedy. Instagram Kira Comedy. Website Kira Comedy. Everything's Kira Comedy.
And she's so funny.
Back tattoo, Kira Comedy.
That's when you have a tramp
That's my
stamp.
tramp stamp with my website.com.
Nice.
Why not promote yourself?
You know what? I saw a comic. You're right about that. And I saw a comic, and let me know if this is going too far, because I felt like it was. But he had a car. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
On his car, he has his face, his website, and just logos of himself all over the side of his car.
Like how you can get your
Joe
car wrapped.
Coy is a friend. I don't need you. He is a dear friend. And if you have a problem with this crying kid on his car, just because he painted his house with his kid crying face, Doesn't mean
I don't see
he's
how
a-
that's problematic.
No, that's fine. Joseph.
Joseph.
He's just confident. That's all.
That would actually be a good license plate. Like if I were him, Joseph.
Joseph.
Oh,
That'd
absolutely.
be a good one. I would
Absolutely.
accept that. I would accept
Totally.
that.
It's only vanity plates I will accept.
Yeah, I'm pretty easy to find. Thank goodness. Although there is another stand-up with the name
Named Kira?
Yes.
Well,
so we will
we
have
have
to
never heard
murder her.
We've never heard of her, so
Arm
she doesn't
wrestle.
matter.
No, we have not. But I have because someone told
Someone
me.
pointed it out.
You know, a fan loves to point out how, like, for example, they'll tell you how your mother's white. You know, things, information that you didn't know, but
You're
they
like,
want to
wait
make
a
sure
second.
you know
Yeah.
That's
that Candice's mother is white.
That's so funny that you're saying this because this is going to be my struggle. This is my little quick struggle that I'm talking about.
Yes.
Because I just did Rogan's podcast for the first time. For our listeners now, I just need to let you know that these episodes are backlogged because we need to stock up for the travel that's coming up in August. So we need to pre-record a bunch of these episodes. So when you hear this, I literally just did Joe's podcast last week, but when you hear this, you're going to hear this like in August. So if you're wondering,
2019.
3 weeks ago.
yes. So my struggle is after doing this podcast now, because when you're on social media as an artist, as a performer, the people that have been exposed to you are people that are like you're genuine, like who you've performed in front of, and they're like, oh, I like this person, let me follow her on Instagram. So they already gravitate towards you because they like what you do. When you're then on a platform, when you're exposed to like millions of people, you're now going to have people coming to you who weren't necessarily coming to see you perform. So they're not fans. So now they're going to come to you and they're like going to express dislike and hate and whatever because they're not a natural fan of mine. They just got introduced through somebody else.
Some are trying to find you to become a new fan, and some are just
trying
being
to
trolls.
tear you down.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's
So
beautiful.
yeah, I've gotten so much love, and thank you again for all the new love from the JRE followers. But I've also gotten a lot of mean things being said to me.
What? Give me an example.
Oh.
This is upsetting.
And you know what's funny? It's because that fan base is very interesting. And Joe is not a conservative by any means. I think he falls more of like a conservative liberal, which is actually where I fall. Like I'm not an extreme on either side. I'm like a conservative liberal. And so he attracts a lot of Trump supporters, but also he's a lot of like MMA, UFC, in that world. And I'm not getting a lot of like anti-Trump hate. What I'm getting the most of is just misogyny. I'm getting a lot of like, people just come to my page and they're like, oh, another pretty woman calling her, posing as a comedian. Like, and I'm seeing that a lot. And a lot of just like stupid sophomore comments about the photo that he posted.
I think you're pretty, though.
Thanks, Mal. Thanks, Mal.
That's the takeaway.
as a woman-
That's the takeaway for you right here.
I'm kidding.
As a
I'm
woman,
clearly kidding.
I know, we know you're kidding.
course.
We know
One of
you're
the good ones.
He is one of the good ones.
Even though your name means bad, you're good.
Your name does mean bad
Right.
in Spanish, right? Yeah.
But it's like saying, something's, like that's fat. You don't mean it's actually fat.
Right.
It's pH, right?
Pretty
Right.
hot and tempting.
Right.
What?
Get out.
Okay, bye.
Get out. So yeah, it's been I've never experienced this much of the hatred. Just look at, oh, Joe, you have another woman on. You're getting soft, bro. Like just hate from just being a woman alone. Another female comedian, not interested, not listening. Worst podcast you've done ever. Like just because I'm a woman.
Well, they have a point. What can a woman really bring to the table if you think about it?
I know if we're not having babies.
What are you offering
I
them?
agree.
Are you giving them all blowjobs?
I mean, maybe afterwards.
But maybe it is
if
not
they
yes.
slide in these DMs the correct way, maybe. Maybe they don't know.
I don't know.
They don't know what type of chick I am yet.
I feel like, if you're not giving everyone a hand job, it really is kind of
It's moot.
pointless.
Right.
Right? And it is a waste of time. Why would I listen to something just for entertainment while I'm driving or on the treadmill if I'm not going to have an orgasm after it or just at least see your titties? Or meet your white mom, something.
God damn it. That's another thing. Yeah,
I don't know
people.
why. That makes me
It's ridiculous.
angry laugh. There's like angry cry.
Yeah.
That makes me angry laugh
laugh.
so much. When you told me that story, my blood is boiling and bubbling over, but I also just want to like cry laughing.
That was the Tommy story?
Yes.
From the comedy store?
Yes.
The old booker who used to work there.
Do you know this story?
No.
Oh, I didn't tell you this? Okay, so just FYI, whenever I say that I'm biracial, just to get to to say it in the shortest way that I'm mixed race.
Right.
When I say biracial, I don't mean my mom is white and my dad is black, which is what people just normally assume when you say you're biracial. Neither one of my parents is white. Both of my parents are black. They're mixed with black, Native American, and there is some white in there as well. So, but when I performed at the Comedy Store, and this was before I got passed, this was like 5, 6, 7 years ago maybe. I had just done the open mic, and this when the old booker, Tommy, used to work there. And I got off stage, and he came up to me, and he goes, you know, Candice, you know who Freddie Lockhart is? And Freddie Lockhart is another comic that I love, and his mom is white, and his dad is black. And he goes, I'm going to tell you what Mitzi said to Freddie Lockhart. She told him, you need to start telling jokes from your mom's perspective.
Nice. Nice.
His mom is a Pisces, and
Nice.
they see things differently.
Yeah.
Their outlook on life is different.
Yeah. So the fact that he came up and said that to me, just assumed.
Straight face, too.
Well, he was known for, being racist.
Kicking knowledge.
And I knew this going in, so I was like, I'm not going to get mad at his ignorance. Like, It's just whatever. But it's so funny because even after doing the podcast at Rogan's, like, I'll get messages or just on my timeline, oh, yeah, you're not black anyway. Like, just...
From black people.
No,
what do you need?
mostly white people.
I know.
Do you need paperwork?
But black people have said that to me, too.
How can you prove?
And what difference does it make? Honestly, you know what I'm saying?
What I'm saying is, can you walk around with some sort of diploma?
I'm going to have to
You're
in
gonna
my
have
blackness.
to. Is there a place to go? Like, can you go?
Get certified.
Well, you
Like
get
the DMV.
certified.
A certification
That's right.
that lasts
Some
for
sort of
a
registration.
certain amount of years.
Like they should have a DMV for like racially ambiguous people to
Right.
go to prove.
I mean,
But it's so funny because like we're the only people that, and I've talked about this before, like on stage, we're the only race that people make you prove that you are. Even black
Yeah.
people within the race are like, you black, prove it.
Yeah.
But it's never with anything that like matters. It's always like a stupid reference.
I mean, I think it could be easily solved. Look, I'm here to solve problems.
Please, that's why I had you
with
on.
like a blue check for Twitter, like some sort of black check.
Can
that
we-
you are black check, you're approved.
We'll
like
get
you're
a black
verified.
outline on our blue verified checks.
Yeah, maybe like you're there's like some sort of
Yeah, an outline around it.
Yeah.
She's also black. It's my black verification. It's like my black card, my black credit card.
exactly. And then we don't have to, you just look at your Twitter. Hey, I'm verified.
Look, I'm black
people-
verified.
Yeah.
People leave you
And
alone.
they'll be like, oh, I guess so.
yeah,
If it doesn't exist, if it's not on social media, it doesn't exist.
right.
So if
right.
it's there,
I think we just solved it.
we did. There's my struggle. Mal, what's yours?
I mean, mine is sort of petty.
I'm here for
You're
petty.
here for petty. I was the maid of honor at my friend's wedding this past weekend.
That's right. Maid of honor. You heard that right, Kira.
Yeah. I was standing on her side.
All right, well, back to Candice. So you were saying, you're saying Joe Rogan's fans, not the best? All right, well, this sounds like a struggle.
So here's my
Yeah.
problem. Like it was I don't know.
Like
It
a
was
sweetheart
probably
neckline, and it didn't accentuate
No.
your. Oh, okay.
It's probably the coolest wedding I've ever been to. But so Dorothy and I, who's my best friend, Dorothy and I have a close circle of friends that we've been friends with for over 15 years. And I think like we're in a group text and everybody in the group text seems to take the friendship very serious. But then actions like speak louder than words, right? Speak louder than text. So we're during the ceremony on Friday, I notice like 2 people in the group show up like basically 2 seconds before the "You May Now Kiss the Bride," which is, I think, in very poor form. Then posting pictures on social media, one dude who lives here,
Yeah.
like his whole representation of being at this wedding was a picture of himself.
What?
Here's a picture of me,
At a wedding.
season. Congratulations, you guys.
With no picture
No
of.
picture of the
And
couple.
they're just supposed to be. And this again.
This is
these
supposed
are
to be
friends.
a best
This is-
friend, yeah.
Wow.
And then the other dude just didn't fucking post because his Instagram is dedicated to
Other things. Himself.
ass and titties. That's it.
Whose ass and whose titties?
He's a photographer.
Yeah, in quotes.
And that shit just bugs the fuck out. Like, I'm struggling with, should I tell them that that's like
Are they so
sort of dick move as a friend?
Is this a deal breaker for you? Are you done with them?
No, I mean, they're slowly becoming cousins.
Yeah.
You know, like, if friends are the family you choose, you have tight family and then you have cousins that are twice removed. And I think it just really bothers me that they would act that way.
That's selfish.
Yeah.
Yeah, on someone else's, on their
Does
best
that
friend's
seem crazy
wedding
to
day.
you?
I'm sorry. I was hung up on the fact that it was a Friday wedding.
Oh, yeah.
Who does that?
They had a problem
I
with
didn't listen to the rest of your story.
They had a
I don't know what
problem-
happened.
They had a problem with their original venue.
Well, they
and
have
so
a problem
had
with
to
me too.
struggle to get the thing.
So I don't know. I don't
I
even know
think
what
Friday
you said.
wedding-
All I heard was Friday wedding.
weddings seem better to me, though, to be honest.
What's your hang up with the Friday? I would like to hear both sides. I'm neutral. I don't think I care.
Okay. When you are young with a fresh face and life and vigor in your body and soul, I am old
so
and
stupid.
I need about 7 hours before a wedding
You are so
to
stupid.
look like a legal human.
I hate her so much.
And if your wedding is on a Friday and you're working or you got shit to do, regular Monday through Friday shit, and you're like, oh, I don't have a 9-to-5 job, but most people do. I'm gonna leave my 9-to-5 job where I just have like all of the neon light kind of blueness on my skin from sitting underneath all day long underneath the neon lights,
The cubicle
and then
light.
the cubicle, and that smell of like just imported
Sadness.
China rug. You know what I mean? Like just the wall-to-wall carpeting of just Chinese lead that you've been smelling all day, and your makeup is just like in your shoes, and you've been hunched over, so your posture's just angry.
Kira, where did you work before?
Seriously, that's what I want to know.
I was like, where before you started
very
doing stand-up?
descriptive.
I've been a comic for many years, but my point is, and then you're like, oh, time to celebrate love.
Yeah, you sound like
You have 25 minutes to get into the mood. I gotta go put on a face mask. I gotta lie down. I gotta Biore my nose. I want to shave all the hair on my body. I want to, relax. I
Kira's
want
a gypsy, so
I want
she
to
has
cut
a lot
out
of
carbs
hair.
for a few hours. I want to steam. I want to sauna.
For a few
I want to
hours?
swim. Yes, I want to.
You have to work out too before then also.
You gotta. I don't know. That's just me. And when you have a Friday wedding, which I've been to.
It just puts a whole...
You don't get there in a happy mood. You're more like,
You're
TikTok, I'm exhausted.
Right.
Let's go.
Where's the open bar?
Right.
Immediately.
Okay, now that said, I had to go to a Friday wedding in Long Beach, leaving Los Angeles. It took me 3 hours to get there, and I was late. So maybe they were stuck in traffic. I'm not trying to take your struggle and diminish it. But I don't know. Maybe can we go check on Black Twitter what they say?
Find all the answers to the universe are on Black Twitter.
I'm not trying to take away from your struggle. It's up.
I understand traffic, but I have more of an issue with the posting and not posting.
Yeah. I feel like I agree with you. I don't know if it would make me mad. Honestly, I don't even think I would have noticed it. I would have known. Now that I'm thinking about it, I would have noticed it, but I don't think.
When you go through, when the couple has a hashtag for the wedding and you go, oh, let's see what kind of pictures everybody else took at this wedding.
Right.
And there's a picture of one of your best friends that's just by himself.
Yeah.
And no other pictures from the rest of the wedding. That just seems like
But when's the last?
shitty to me.
Do they post normally?
Well,
or is this, you know what I'm saying? Like sometimes people are not they don't know how to use Instagram properly because they're not on it a lot.
I don't.
Yes.
Oh, they know it. Okay, never mind.
Oh, they do. Okay.
So never mind.
I don't know what to do. People are like, you gotta when you show up, if you're, I don't know, let's say you're shooting something, you go on set, you gotta take a picture of your dressing room door with your name on it, like set life.
You don't. That's my least favorite hashtag. Hashtag set life. I hate it so much.
But if you talk to the government of Twitter or Instagram, they will tell you that you have to do that.
You have to do that. I do believe, as you know, because this is everything is trans. Can I tell you how many the followers that I got from doing the Tonight Show as opposed to the followers I got from doing Joe Rogan's podcast? Everything is online now. So we do have to do certain things as artists to speak to this audience that is online now. But I refuse to do the hashtag set life. I will be the one taking a picture, a selfie of me in front of a mirror in a dressing room. I'll do that, but I refuse to use set life. I hate that one. I hate hashtag beast mode.
Oh,
I hate it. I hate those two. I will never use
beast
either
mode.
one.
What does that mean? What is that?
This is I'm on my grind. This is me in these streets. I'm a beast in these streets.
I got an Urban Dictionary. Everything you just said. Say it again. So
Again,
I can
go to
look it
Black
up.
Twitter. And I just know so many people that are with the beast mode. And I'm like, first of all, it just is dated to me. That seems so 5 years ago to be saying beast mode. But yeah, it's so self-important. It's so but that's...
I'm still learning.
What
I don't
Instagram
know
is.
how to use it. I don't know.
It's a blessing, actually.
I only take a picture of stuff that is interesting to me. Some people would take a picture of 100 things every single day.
I know.
So, and is that more
That's
quality?
annoying.
Is that quality, quantity?
No.
That's annoying.
It's annoying. And also, what are the pictures of? If they're selfies and, I'm sorry, that means, again,
Meals.
it's meals. Like, what are you doing? No one cares to see this.
Yeah, I don't
It's
know.
back to that it's made everybody think that they're important.
Yeah.
And not to say everybody isn't important. Like,
Everybody has moments in their life that are important to them, and they should feel free to share those if they want. But I don't know. There's like
I should feel free that I should block you.
Exactly.
Right.
We have the choice
Or unfollow you.
Unfollow.
Right. And
good
you shouldn't,
stuff.
don't come to me and be like, why did you unfollow me? Because I have my reasons. That's all.
Has anyone asked you why you've unfollowed them?
Oh, I know one comic who I won't say his name, who we talked. This was so fucked up. Like, we were at the Improv together and we were talking about, like, hey, why don't we follow? Neither one of us was following one another on Instagram. So that conversation got brought up. Hey, why don't we follow each other on Instagram? And I was like, you're right. Immediately when we during the conversation, I'm pulling his Instagram up, immediately follow. He never followed me back. So then, like, weeks go by, and I'm like, he never followed me. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not following him. So I unfollowed him. He had the nerve to come up to me. I went and did a show, and he's like, hey, first thing out of his mouth, hey, thanks for unfollowing me on
You're
Twitter.
welcome.
And I was like, dude.
How did he know? How would you even know that?
Because you can't, there is an app, and I have it for Instagram, and I don't look at it regularly by any means. Again, I've said this before on the podcast, but like there was a couple people that I was curious, like exes, to see if they were still following me. Because I think it's weird when you like hurt somebody's feelings and yet you still like their photos and shit like that. Yeah. So like I hate you. I never want to see you again. You're the worst person I've ever dated. But then you like my next photo on Instagram.
cool sunset though.
Yeah, right. What are you talking about? You're a crazy person. I have feelings. Leave me alone. So I like went on there to see if they were still following me. So I've used it for that, but on Twitter, I don't care. Like, I honestly, I don't. But there are apps that you can see who has unfollowed you. And people really, and they go on your page and see if it still says following or not. If you just go on someone's page, it'll say they're still following you or they're not.
Right.
So
Okay.
he saw that and was like, first thing out of his mouth, hey, thanks for unfollowing me on Twitter. I was like, dude, you never followed me. And I brought up the conversation and he was like, oh, yeah. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I was completely justified in that unfollow. You guys are looking at me like I'm crazy.
No, I don't think it's crazy.
Look, I say when you get to Twitter court, you show the judge all of your
I keeps
Exhibit
receipts.
A's.
I do. I keeps all the receipts. So yeah, I feel like but the fact that was the first thing out of his mouth instead of being like just hey, how you doing? It was bothering him.
Sad.
Yeah.
He was thinking it was like it was
Sad.
festering inside of him for weeks.
Sad.
Maybe he was in beast mode. Am I using that incorrectly? I don't know how to use it. God, I want to learn.
It was incorrect,
learn.
but
I'm
it was
sorry.
also an adorable attempt.
Thanks.
I appreciate that.
That's all I want to do is just be like that awkward immigrant mom. That's my brand. That's my new brand. I'm branding myself.
Is your mom a struggle for you?
Oh my God.
Because every Russian Jewish person that I know, we had Jenny Zagrino on.
Mm-hmm.
She talked about her mom, and my manager Nat, she's a Russian Jewish person, and her mom.
Yeah.
And what is it with Russian Jewish moms?
I think it's, look, it's Game of Thrones, they just this is what they are known for. This is it. You can't trust any Soviet person. Not right now, Russians. Those are different. Well, no, same samesies. We hacked the election, so sames. But it's a very, I can't even explain to you how I'm shocked that there are, regular soap operas, and then there are like the Latino novellas, that like my mother-in-law is Puerto Rican, so she watches all those like Spanish-speaking soap operas. Where is the goddamn Russian Soviet Jew soap opera? Because the storylines are unbelievable.
They would have to show it in the evening time. It wouldn't be a daytime because it's too dark. They'd have to show it at like midnight on HBO.
It's adultery. It's just murder. It's crime. It's money laundering. It's drugs. It's everything. And it's like, and that was my whole childhood. And my parents, there was like a JR character. Sorry, I'm old.
That's
Go
from,
look up JR. Dallas.
I remember Dallas.
There was like a
My mom
JR
watched it.
character in our Russian community that we were all like, oh, careful, he's the JR. Like they called him JR.
Him that.
So I think it's just that world that Soviet moms especially just are seeped in, and from their mothers and from their, I mean, it's just all comes down, but it's like this, okay, I'll give an example.
Yeah, please.
My mom has a younger sister, okay? So it's my uncle, my mom, and then her sister, right? 3 kids. My uncle got married. He's the boy, the first son, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he got married. Then my mom's little sister wanted to get married. And my parents were like, are you crazy?
What's the problem?
Oh, I'm sorry, her parents. You have to get married first. You cannot have your sister who's younger than you get married. It's embarrassment for everybody.
This is your grandparents talking to your mom.
Right. Yes.
Wow.
How can you let this to happen for you? How you're ashamed of it? We are all ashamed. So my mom went out and got married just so her sister could get married. And then she divorced the dude.
What?
Wait.
Yes.
And that was the intent from jump? Like when she first, she was like, I know this is not going to last.
I mean,
Hey,
they
bro.
weren't in love. I don't know if that was the intent.
Oh,
Right.
my.
I mean, they had my brother, but that's because there were only abortions as birth control in the Soviet Union.
Jeez.
Every Soviet woman, if you see a woman over the age of 58, let's just do that as the cutoff, random,
Yeah.
whatever, 60, has had 1 to 18 abortions. That is, they didn't have condoms.
1
My
to
mom had
18.
3.
Wow.
Yes. Yes. Ask Nat. Ask her. Well, I don't know if she'll know that information, but ask her mom.
Let's call her
"Excuse
right
me,
now."
How many abortions have you had?
It's a random
They
question,
didn't
Mom.
they didn't have birth control. Now they do, but no.
And abortion was legal back then?
It was expected.
It was just part of the. It was just part of.
It was
Culture.
like
It's
your
part of the
to-do
culture.
list.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
I
You can
gotta
go to
the
Target.
market. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is at the farmer's market.
Right.
They had an abortion.
Get an
booth.
abortion, go get new shoes. Like, it was just part of your to-do
Sorry,
list.
dude. Can we go to a later movie? Because I had an abortion.
I have abortion scheduled.
Like
Oh
right
my
after
gosh.
brunch.
All
So-
they had
and-
was 2:30 open.
And people could also.
We'll go tomorrow.
yeah, I mean,
And it was openly talked about too, like abortions.
I don't think it was like celebrated, but
Not
it was
celebrated, but it's part
yeah.
of like no. You could literally say to somebody,
Well, we have to go take care of this.
right?
That
And
was
okay,
it.
that's hilarious to me.
But my mom, my mom is, they are very interesting, my parents, because they stayed Soviet because you just can't wash that stain out.
It's on you.
But they've also they really had a metamorphosis in the 90s, right? Because the 80s, they were like all in, like shoulder pads,
Yeah.
big hair, neon. My dad wore the Miami Vice blazers.
Nice.
With, they were like baby blue and a pink thing. And, they were all in. And then the 90s happened and I went to college and I come back and they're drinking non-dairy milk. They're eating tofu.
What?
They're doing yoga. So they had a weird, so they definitely took a different path than most Russians.
Yeah, yeah.
But they still remained, angry and they spit when they talk, etc. So, but they, so they're a little bit more open-minded.
They converted to Southern Californianism.
Well, I'm from San Francisco, so yeah,
Californianism.
California,
Yeah.
just the city,
Yeah.
the hippiness and liberalness
Yeah.
of the city.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but still remain. My mom will give me backhanded compliments and she swears she's helping or saying something nice. But the classic is, you know what? I want to treat you for spa. You go and you get facial. I pay for it. Oh, thanks,
You're
Mom.
like, thanks.
Because you look so bad.
Oh.
Wait, she'll literally close with that?
Yeah.
You look so.
Because you look tired and your skin is so gray. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, I get thanks. You know what I mean?
You know what's so funny? And that's not funny. It's not funny at all. Because it's just like I was with Nat, my manager, yesterday,
Yeah.
and she comes from the same type of
Totally.
situation.
Yeah.
And so the juxtaposition of what was happening, she was on the phone with her father. Something happened to her and it was not good. So she was on the phone with her dad. I'm on the phone with my dad.
Uh-huh.
And I'm listening to her argue. And I'm listening to the bullshit. And she's screaming at him.
Oh my gosh.
Screaming at him because, and I was like, I don't know what just happened on the other end of that phone.
But that is how Russians show love. But keep going.
I believe you. And that's why it's so terrifying.
Yeah.
Like, that's what she experienced her whole childhood. And I'm talking to my dad, and my dad is just like, hey, Candice, we're stopping at the Albanese factory. Do you want to, how many T-shirts do you want? Can I get you? And I'm just listening, and I'm like, my dad is the complete opposite of what she grew up with. And then I got off, and I was like, what were you arguing about? And she was like, something happened to me, and I told him, and I don't want to say what it was, because it's not personal, but I don't want to put her business out. But and her dad didn't believe her. She said this happened, and her dad's like, no, it didn't. You're lying.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Awesome.
That's what she is dealing with. And I'm like, oh my. And now I was like, this is why so many people are fucked up. Like, their parents fucked them up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I talk about my parents all the time. They're just amazing people. And I'm like, I am definitely the exception. But that's, I don't know.
So how are you a comic? See, I don't trust it. I don't trust it.
I hear that often, but because, we all do come from pain as comics, but my pain was not feeling like I fit in. Like, because being, multiracial and seeing my family and like being a Black person who doesn't look traditionally Black, I got left out and felt left out all the time. So I spent a lot of time by myself and
what would you get left out of?
I felt left out of even my own family. If you saw me and you saw the rest of my family, I'm like the lightest one.
She's the white sheep of the family.
Yeah. Okay. So like I felt left out in my family.
But I'm saying, like, what does that mean? Like, hey, we're all going to go to Disneyland. No, not you.
There is one time where I really
Disneyland.
Swear up and down.
Knott's Berry Farm.
I was just about to say it's the Universal Circus, is a thing. The Universal Circus. That was the Black Barnum and Bailey. It was.
Yeah.
It was like the BET Barnum and Bailey. So there was one occasion, and granted, it could have been just in my head because we would be out in public and like everyone would say to my sister and our two cousins, my cousin Keisha, my cousin Chantel, you guys look all alike. You guys could be sisters. And I would just be standing there like, quack, 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 quack. No one would ever say that to me. They would say it, and I'm her sister, but they would say it to her cousins.
Right.
And there was one occasion, and I know my sister listens to this podcast, and she will deny this up and down. But I swear, when we were kids, I was probably like 6 or 7. My sister and my cousin Keisha and my cousin Chantel, I swear they abandoned me. I swear we were playing outside and then they just all disappeared and I was out there by myself. And in my head, I know I created a narrative of like, they're going to get ice cream or something. They're somewhere out having all types of fun and they just left me. And I looked all over for them and I couldn't find them. And I swear to this day, they abandoned me. And they swear they didn't. They were like, Candice, we were just so-and-so. We were out, whatever. And I was like, y'all left me. We were playing and then y'all were gone. Like, how do you explain that? And to this day, they can't explain it. They can't explain it. And then one of my cousins or aunts then took me to get ice cream, and they hated me for that because they were like, we wanted ice cream. I was like, well, y'all shouldn't abandon me. So they now hold that against me. But no, this has just been my whole life.
Wow.
Not feeling like part of the group.
Yeah. Well, did you ever like talk to your parents about it? Did you ever?
No, we don't talk about stuff. Like, that's the thing.
Well,
like, they showed love, but not with, like, communication. Like, they bought stuff for me, and they always provided, but they weren't, like, the most affectionate people. They weren't, like, they didn't regularly say I love you, but it was more like, but they showed me. Yeah. And, again, actions do speak louder than words. So they didn't have to say it. But talking about stuff in my family is not the
We don't say I love you in my family either.
No? Oh, my God. My mother, and I did this on stage. I might bring it back. My mother was visiting after my first child was born. Okay. So he's 7.5 now. And she was hanging out and she goes, you're going to send this baby to therapy.
What?
I go, why? When you're a first time mom, it's like every bit of information is crucial, right? Because it's like a scavenger hunt where you don't want to make one mistake because you're not going to get the next clue.
Exactly.
So I was like, what are you talking about? What's going on? Why? She goes, because you say to him, I love you every day. We never say this to you.
And I'm a comedian because of it. And look what happened to me.
If you would have thrown out a couple extra I love yous, maybe I wouldn't be telling dick jokes in a laundromat. Like just a few more. Who knows?
I wouldn't need validation from complete strangers that I matter.
My life would have been completely different.
Yeah.
But so I always try to pick up information like this from people so that I can kind of try to navigate how I want to raise my kids.
Yeah.
Because And trust me, that's my struggle, by the way.
I was going to say, I forced a struggle on you by talking about your mom. But
no, it's all connected. It's all connected. But it's constantly like, oh my God, did I just fuck up this child? Oh my God, what did I do? Oh my God, I ruined him or her. You know, it's like, it's a constant struggle for me because I do have this ability to be angry Soviet all the time because it's inside of me. And I'm constantly pushing. Exactly.
Right.
And you never want to go full Russian in public.
Right.
It's frightening. You never want to go full Soviet. So I'm always trying to cap it down and push it down. And
you're like the Hulk.
I do feel like the Hulk.
Yeah, you're
and I have hulked out
keeping that at bay.
On my kids, where it's just like all my clothes come off, just shorts, cut off jeans.
I never understood why the Hulk didn't just wear spandex.
You know what? Because his booty looked good in those cut off jeans. He was doing squats. But I don't know what to do. I'm in a constant. I like how your struggle was like, my friend posted a picture and I'm like,
single
my
people,
life,
man.
I don't know what my life means.
Yeah. Single people, when you don't have people to raise.
Right.
I don't know what kind of, I honestly, this is 100% true.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of person I should be.
To your kids.
To my kids.
Right.
On a daily basis. Not like, when it comes to something broad. I'm talking wake up in the morning, let's have breakfast. And I'm like, what's it gonna be?
Because this matters.
It matters.
It does matter.
And also, am I putting too much pressure on myself? Or also, if I'm not, then I'm just gonna raise assholes.
Right.
I don't know. I'm constantly, it is sometimes debilitating.
I think about that. I've even talked about that on stage, like why one of the reasons why like having kids has been something that's not necessarily been a priority for me is because I'm terrified of raising.
You should be.
A monster. Like,
yes.
And they're just people. And there is the whole nature versus nurture, of course.
Yeah.
But like, for example, me and my sister were very different for a long time, like growing up. Like we were raised by the same parents, but like we hated each other.
Really?
We were our personalities were, and we're raised by the same people.
How old are you? What's your age difference?
We're almost 2 years apart. So we were grade wise, we were only a year apart. She graduated a year before me because my parents like wanted us to be closer for some reason. So they like made me skip a grade when I was like in preschool. They were like, we want them to be in school together. So if you could put Candice up a grade, and they were like, sure, she's eating crackers properly. Like she's taking naps when she's supposed to. So they put me up. So we were only 1 grade apart, even though we're almost 2 years apart. And it may have been because we were too close, like age-wise, maybe. But we hated each other.
Who knows?
And it's like,
who knows? Sometimes it's like, we got along so well because we were so close in age, or we got along so well because we had different interests because we were 4 or 5 years apart.
Right. Who knows?
Who knows? You don't know.
You don't know how it's going to
happen. And again, I hate prefacing conversations with, I'm doing this on stage because I don't want people to think I'm like throwing bits at you.
No.
This is a bit that I'm doing because it's true. I am taking positive parenting classes because I am so concerned and worried because I was raised with so much anger.
Yeah.
Nat's conversation is my childhood. And I don't want that. And it comes out. It's like being.
You'll snap on your kids and you'll feel it.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
But the big difference is I will go up to them and go, you know what? I'm so sorry. I got really angry about that. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
My parents have never to this day apologized
for anything.
For anything.
Yeah.
And I was beaten severely. That's another good thing. I don't hit my kids. So were you hit?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
We were.
By whom?
We were all
my
hit.
mom and the
neighbors.
The reason why
we were all hit.
The reason why my parents got divorced is because my father was like overly physically abusive. But
oh my gosh!
As far as discipline is concerned, my mom, all the bamboo spoons in the kitchen were on the table for.
They have initials for which kid it goes to. This is Mal's spoon.
Yeah.
At least it's bamboo, which is better for the environment.
We would also have to pick switches off the trees. Like we were that family.
Yeah, we've all done that.
Go pick a switch.
Extension cord, switches. I think
that's why you're a comic.
People of color, not right, like because I saw my sister get it worse than me, so I learned from her mistakes. So I was like, I ain't doing that. Which is why I think the only point of like real service an older sibling provides is to teach the younger ones what not to do.
Oh yeah.
So my sister was great for that, but also when I was visiting my cousins in Virginia. Oh my God! Uncle Theron would beat the shit out of all of us.
Well, he was just angry about that name.
Theron. His name is Theron.
No.
I think his middle name is Thravette.
Okay, well,
They
that's just some
Trevor-
Star Wars
Trevor-
names. Now that's just a
I know these are like
Star Wars
or
names.
like NPR, people.
Right.
I feel like all their names. What is it? Kieran Cermak or something like that. Sounds like Star Wars
These
episode.
all sound like medicines that will help you with
yeah.
fungus.
Yeah.
So there's
Ask
Trevor.
your doctor if Theron
If
is
Theron Thravette is right for you.
If Uncle T is right for you.
Uncle T. There was and the two kids, Trevor, Theophilus,
No, I'm done with this conversation. Back to the
And
Friday wedding.
He's just really
and
good with
Tremaine.
No.
Tremaine got a regular middle name, Travis.
Tremaine spelled TH. Remain.
That would be hilarious, but no, it's regular.
Oh my God.
So yeah, but no, Uncle Theron would beat the shit out of all of us.
Wow.
I think hitting your kids is positive, though.
What?
I do.
Why?
Because if you look at the alternative, talking to your kids like they're an adult before they're a fucking adult, that's how you raise assholes.
You don't talk to them like they're adults.
That's what a
as
lot-
per the positive parenting classes I'm taking. Everything in these classes is about the parent, which I think that's the worst part of these.
Oh.
Because it puts the onus on the parent. So if your kid, let's say, walks over and knocks this thing down, right? The book says, well, that's what a kid should be doing. That's a typical, they're curious, they want to know what this is about. I'm not talking like a 12-year-old, I'm talking like a 2-year-old, right?
Right.
So they knock something over and they're doing what a typical kid, that's normal, right? How you react.
Yeah.
Now, some parents would be like, stop it,
Yeah.
right?
You're just supposed to ignore it.
Or you just
pick
go,
it up.
oh, no, thank you. I don't want that to break. No, thank you.
That's the
Put it
proper
back.
way.
That's the problem. So you're not talking to them like an adult. You don't go, look, these were
Idiot.
These were at Office Depot. There's the
paid.
last of these. I can't find them anymore. If you go online, you're not like that's an adult. That's like talking to them like
Right.
You're gonna convince them like, oh, you know what? These are kind of
You're right. I
can't
shouldn't have
find
done
any
that.
more of these. So, no, you just go, oh no, thank you. I don't want that to break. And they understand break because their toys break.
Right.
Things break. So you just kind of, but it's your reaction. And that's my parents, their reaction was always boom, right? Across the head or stop it
Right.
or, verbal abuse, like, well, you're dumb, so you don't understand, so that was like, so I have to constantly slow that train down and constantly be like, oh, okay. And I do this, which one thing I will pat myself on the back is I do it like the first 4, 5, 6 times.
Yeah.
But if you keep knocking this thing over,
Then
that's when I lose it,
it.
and I lose it like a fucking lunatic.
But also, this is what I'm talking about. Like kids being assholes. Like he knows what he's doing at that point, or she knows what she's doing. It's like you saw me say, "Okay,
Yes.
not right now," but then you're like, "Let
So-
me see how far I can."
Imagine when you're driving, right? You're driving in your lane, okay, and you hit the bumps.
Yeah.
It tells you where the
Right.
boundary is.
Yeah.
So you're like, okay. Sometimes we drive on the bumps for whatever reason. Like, oh, I'm just trying to get around this car, or I'm trying to make this turn. I don't want to turn too. So I'm just like until whatever your reason is. We know where the boundary is. We don't want to get over it because that really is dangerous.
Right.
But those bumps are there to tell us, like, hey. But when you're a kid, you're riding those bumps all the
constantly
time.
Yeah.
Because for us as adults, we're driving, we don't want to hear that sound. That's annoying.
Right.
Or you're worried about your tires. Or
Right.
you have other concerns. But a kid, it's almost like they're comforting. So knowing when mommy gets angry is almost a comfort.
You're
which
blowing
is
my
the
mind with
most
this.
fucked up
You're blowing
thing,
my mind with
because
this.
now they know where the bumps are.
Yeah.
And like, oh, okay, I'll just ride these. And it's like, but you don't understand because they're too young to understand what that does to me.
Right.
Like my
They don't care.
cells are just vomiting inside of themselves.
Boiling.
They don't care, and they shouldn't because they're they haven't they're not
shouldn't.
developed.
But you're right. And then the old school thinking is they're doing it on purpose.
Right.
Now,
It's
at a
like-
certain age, yes.
Yeah,
Of course,
I'm
after
not
a certain
talking
age.
about infants. I'm talking about
No, we're talking like
kids.
a
I think-
2-year-old at this point.
Right. 2, 3, 4,
Yeah.
5, 6.
6 is right. You're getting on the cusp when you are in
like
school.
4 years old is too much.
No, 4 is still
I know.
like it's
It's
still
hard.
a toddler.
You're still no, they're
because they sort of know right from wrong.
not. Nope.
I don't know.
0. No, I don't agree.
But if they don't have consequences ever, then that's
What are you talking about? Like chopping off a finger? Mal's getting really angry right now. He's like, these kids need consequences. You watch The Handmaid's Tale, and you catch them reading, chop off a finger.
Here's a for example. One of Dorothy's nephews is a bad boy. He just runs around. His parents don't corral him. There's no structure there.
How old is he?
He's 4.5, almost 5.
Okay.
So we're at the church wedding, and he was sitting in my pew, and they were like, "Can you watch him?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he sat down. As soon as his parents turned around, I squeezed his arm.
You said, "You little motherfucker."
And I was like, "Hey, sit here and be good. Don't move. Don't move from this spot right here." And he looked at me, and then he just sat there and didn't move the entire wedding. And then his parents came up and they were like, "What did you do?" And I was like, I just told him to
sit
there and not move.
But that's because it's you.
I do think also, they take authority from other people better than from their, because they know.
I can't teach my kids how to swim.
Yeah.
I have taught other kids how to swim.
Hilarious.
That's cannot teach my kids. They are like, who the fuck are you? I go, I was a lifeguard. I was a counselor in camp. I have taught people that are now adults how to swim.
But they refuse.
They're like, we don't know. We don't fucking, you're not qualified. Where's your black Twitter check mark? You know what I mean? And so, but if I put them in the pool with you and you're a lifeguard and a swim instructor, they'll listen to
Mel,
you.
Right.
Wait, hold on. Do you know how to swim, Mel?
I mean, I could swim well enough.
You always have to.
You do.
It is a stereotype, but you do always have to ask black people. Do you know how to swim?
I'm not the strongest swimmer. I'm like in the middle.
Okay.
Well, you don't have to. There's no weights involved. It's just your body weight.
Yeah.
So stupid. He didn't even get the joke.
I did get it.
Okay.
Are you swimming with dumbbells?
With weights,
oh,
yes,
that's the
with weights.
problem.
I'm not supposed to do CrossFit while I swim.
Wait.
I never thought about that though, because my mom would just do what I did to that little kid to us, and we would listen.
Because you were hit.
Yeah.
Right. But all they taught you, and I'm not putting down your
anymore.
mom, and this is coming from a room full of, hitties.
Yeah.
We were taught compliance. That's what we were taught.
Yeah. And your argument is that compliance is good, Matt, right? You're just saying that why can't we hit anymore?
Rules.
Okay.
We can hit.
You can.
It just has to be.
You can hit if you
mild.
want. I'm choosing not to because I still remember that feeling. It's very fresh in my mind of feeling so degraded and subhuman. And I remember once it was mostly my mom. She was hitting me once because I wasn't practicing piano. Right? I was sitting at the piano and I was just kind of like, dum, dum. I was like clonking my hands and not playing the piece I was supposed to be practicing. I hated the piano.
How old were you?
Probably 9. Okay. So maybe 8 or 9. So I'm like, nah, not. And she's like, practice your piano. And I didn't. And she said it probably 2 or 3 times. And then she yanked me by skin that I didn't even know existed. Like a puppy in her teeth, like a baby lion, like a, and grabbed me.
Funny.
And I don't even think my feet touched the floor, dragged me down the hall to my room and just walloped on me. And I was a kid. And I remember looking at her and it was like slow motion and looking at her face and the anger on her face. And I was like protecting my head. And I thought, wow, this chick wants to end me. You know what I mean? That hurts your heart, right?
It does because, when I'm talking about getting hit, like I'm talking about like a whooping like with a belt, but not like a full-on like beating.
Oh, no, this was like we would be guests on Joe Rogan's Experience because we were MMA in the ring.
So you are certified in...
Oh, I could be a guest, yes. I would give those fans something to talk about. Where it was like full-on, like she was she just went off on me. And that is the number one thing that I will just always
take with
that
you,
moment. I was hit other times too, but that day, I remember I clicked and I had like a very adult thought where I was like, all right, well, this is some bullshit and this isn't about me. This must be about her.
Wow. At 9 to think that.
At 9, I remember that clicking in.
Wow.
And I was like, all right, well, just get through this. Just get through it. And, I saw my dad in the crack of the door and my grandmother behind him, like 2 people that could have.
Like Russian dolls.
They were stacked on each other.
Watching you through.
Exactly. And I was like, you guys can say something, right?
They just didn't intervene at all.
Yeah.
They were like, let her do what she does.
Yeah.
better her than us.
Yeah, and so for that reason, I will never. Now, it doesn't mean I haven't given them a good shaking,
Right.
Right.
but like I grab them by the shoulders and be like, "Don't run into the street," like that kind of thing.
Right. Yeah.
But it's usually for something that truly is like dangerous.
It's out of love. It's like, I'm trying to
It's
protect
not
you.
because you didn't practice your piano.
Right. Something that doesn't matter.
Yeah,
At
it
all.
really
In the grand
doesn't.
scheme of things, that
Right.
means nothing. Are you a piano player to this day? No. Doesn't
I
matter.
played for 8 years. And the minute I was able to finish, for some reason at 16, something clicked in me. I was like, wait a second, the government says I can drive a vehicle. I feel like I have some people on my side that say I'm an adult. I'm not kidding. I got my license and I felt like I can also probably quit piano.
I can do what I want.
8 years I played. I don't remember.
Were you good at it?
anything. No, because
Like-
the love wasn't there for it.
Right.
It was
Oh,
like,
okay.
How could you have
you
such
know,
terrible memories
Right.
attached to it?
Right. But Russian parents will try to constantly find that like Soviet thing, like we put you in chess camp. I hated chess camp. We make you an ice skater. Why are you guys so stereotypical? You will do gymnastics. I did gymnastics. I did ballet. I mean, everything short of being a mad scientist. I did all the Russian compliant
Things you're
things.
supposed to do.
And
All
I
the checklist on being a good Russian.
sucked at all of them.
Wow.
Cello. I did cello. I mean, all of it. Awful.
Wait, so have you seen, just on topic here, since we're talking about mothering, parenting, have you seen the movie We Need to Talk About Kevin? Did I ever mention this movie to you?
No.
There's a movie called We Need to Talk About Kevin with Tilda Swinton, John C. Reilly. And the premise of this movie is this woman raises a child that she really didn't want to have. And he goes on to do something, I don't want to spoil it, but he goes on to do something heinous, some violent act. And then so the whole movie is her looking in retrospect of all of her behaviors and what
Oh my
she did to
God.
him.
Ugh.
And it's the whole nature versus nurture. Was he born a sociopath or
Right.
did I create one?
Right.
And I don't know why, but because I'm a masochist, I watch it twice because I hate myself. And so, no, I love myself. But for some reason, I was like, I just want to watch this again. And it is so interesting because I do believe that, yes, we are, products of our environment. But at the same time, sometimes people are just demons. I really do believe that. I believe some people are just evil people.
I do think that we're all God's miracle.
Really, Kira? Word.
No, we're all,
For real though.
I think,
Hashtag beast mode, question mark. What?
that people have like the same way we just have different chemicals in our bodies at certain times. We all are capable of a chemical imbalance.
Yeah.
That if that chemical imbalance is fed by, abuse,
Absolutely.
then the brain starts to put together like, oh, I have this imbalance. And instead of me like figuring it out and talking about it and releasing it, people are, maybe abusing me verbally or physically. And so the brain, things can start to shut down.
Right.
And that's where that potential of like a murderer, I think,
Can come
from. Yeah.
I'm obsessed with murders and crimes and serial killers. There was a show on Netflix called Mindhunter.
Mindhunter.
Mm-hmm.
It's very good.
It's very good, and it basically
Fictional,
talks about
or
it's loosely based on the guys who spearheaded the serial killer, like who labeled serial killers. Because at one point they didn't have names for these people who were just killing mass people.
yeah, they
right?
just called them Kevin
right.
or Theron.
Or Theron.
Theron. 7.
Callbacks. And so these were the guys that basically were like, oh, there's patterns with these. Like, this guy's killed this person, let's give these guys a name. And so they were like, oh, they're the guys who came up with the term serial killers. And they were interviewing serial killers who were in prison, and everyone that they talked to, they all hated their mothers.
Oh, Jesus.
Like, they all hated Kira. Their moms abuse them. It's not what you're
Right.
doing is,
No.
of course, you're not creating serial killers,
I
but
hope not.
these are men that hated women because of their moms, and because
Yeah.
their moms, emasculated them, made them feel like they weren't worthy of any type of love, and physically also abused them. So,
Jesus.
yeah,
This is just, it makes my skin crawl because there's so much responsibility.
There is. That's why
when
I
you're
can't-
raising a person.
it
Don't
terrifies
do
me.
it. Don't do it.
and you can't sleep anymore.
Nope. I didn't sleep last night. Are you kidding me?
No, I know. That's why I like sleep too much. I think about
was
this
up
regularly.
3 times.
No.
Just because the almost 3-year-old is like, I need water. And you're like, it's a 24-hour like Holiday Inn Express. You know, when you call someone, there's always someone at the front desk.
Yeah, that's what being a parent is.
It's 24-hour room service. You just call, like, I need a snack. I've given my kids a snack in the middle of the night.
And that would be something that I would be like, you're hungry, you say you want a snack, so I would want to, naturally, I'd be like, let me get them a snack. But then in my head, I'm like, am I training them
Right, you are.
to now?
Yes.
Eat in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Yes.
But what happens if you just say no, go back to sleep?
Which sometimes, you have to say no to them with their crazy ass requests.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
sometimes they're bananas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My little one is learning how to swim and she goes, Mommy, you stay here. I'll be right back. And she goes as if she's going to go swim into the deep end. I go,
Yeah.
you're a lunatic. And so, of course, you say no, right?
Yeah.
And they don't like that. That to them is like, can I have a lollipop? No. Can I go into the deep end by myself? No. It's the same no.
Same level.
And so you have to kind of teach them how to accept. I mean, think of just teaching someone every single step of life.
I can't. Because we don't know. Because you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't know. As grown-ass adults, we don't know.
Right.
We're all doing the best that we can.
Or we're doing stuff just because we're used to it. I put toothpaste on a toothbrush and I brush my teeth. Big deal. But for them, it's like someone saying, go climb Machu Picchu. You know what I mean? It's like, wait, can you climb Machu Picchu? Or anyways, I don't know. I think I fucked that one. Well, that's the big mountain, right? And Peru. Okay. No.
Aren't
It's
they all
not the
big?
big mountain, it's the pyramids, but yeah.
Whatever. You know what I mean? It's like,
Everest.
how do I do that? What if someone's like, just do it?
And you're like,
do I need ropes?
Right.
Am I going to be on belay?
That's what
Is
it's
there
like
going to be
to
a
them.
spotter?
Right.
Can I have a Sherpa?
Yeah, like what? Something like, and I need a snack. You know what I mean? And it's like someone saying, no snack, go.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, so I try so hard, like every day, just like I need to, meditate every morning and
that's
just be like,
how do you even have time for that? And when you have kids, I thought about that too. I was like, if I had kids, my meditation would have to be interrupted. And I don't know if I can.
Everything's interrupted.
Dear God.
Yes. And
You have to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning to meditate.
Don't try to have sex. You want it to be fast. That's the problem. You want the sex to be like, we have 20 seconds before someone... I want a banana. Mommy does too. You can't.
You said mommy does too.
But you know what I mean. So.
Oh. Okay, guys, on that
Did
note.
I do the podcast
Yes,
right?
you did it.
Did I do it correctly?
You did it
I
brilliantly.
learned a lot.
You learned a lot.
Yeah, you just confirmed what I've already believed.
Did you guys set the temperature to immigrate? Is
Yes.
that what's, oh my God.
Yes, I know.
I'm sweating like I just got to this country.
I know. And I'm recording 2 more podcasts in here after you leave, and I'm going to leave looking 30 pounds lighter than when I came in.
Well, I don't mind that. But yeah, I am definitely, it's set to refugee.
I know. We
It's
set
warm
this.
in here.
We did this for you, Kira. We turned off the AC for you.
Thank you.
There
I
is
feel
no
right
AC.
at home.
Is there? There is AC, I think. I don't know. You guys, who cares about the temperature in here? We had so much fun. Did we not have fun?
I had a great time.
Great time.
This was fantastic, Kira.
Thank you.
You guys, thank you for listening to The Struggle. For our new listeners, please make sure you tell people about this and subscribe if you haven't already done that. You can find me at Jokes by Candice on social media and CandiceThompsonComedy.com. Mal, where can people unfollow you?
Unfollow me immediately at malhall.com, at malhall on social media, and Malhall TV on YouTube. Unsubscribe now.
Boom. Kira.
I'm also at Mal Hall on YouTube, which is embarrassing now. It's very awkward. Kira Comedy, you can, hey, you've been a guest. We didn't get Mal on the show. I have 2 podcasts, the Kira Soltanovich Show, which is a parenting podcast, because obviously I need to talk about some shit.
Yeah, you do.
And then you've been on Karen and Kira Can Read, and we got to get you on too. I'm a Russian gypsy. So go to KiraComedy.com. You can find all my stuff.
Yay, you guys, thanks for listening. Come back next time. Bye.
Later.